Hi everyone, and welcome to an episode of Trident Talks, the Black Hat Spotlight series. I'm Josh, the co-founder here at Trident. Today, I'm joined by Craig Rowland, the CEO and founder of Sandfly. Craig, thanks for joining.
Great, thanks for having me on.
Craig, so can you just kind of talk us through your role at Sandfly and Sandfly as a business and the kind of history of everything?
Yeah, right. So I'm Craig Rowland. I'm the founder and CEO of Sandfly. Sandfly was created because I saw a big gap in Linux infrastructure monitoring. Essentially, that a lot of companies and industries run Linux, and a lot of times they cannot deploy agents on these systems due to reliability problems. So what Sandfly is, we're an agentless security platform for Linux. We focus on Linux exclusively. We do not only traditional endpoint detection and response, but we also do other critical features such as monitor SSH keys. We can look for weak passwords on systems. We could do drift detection to find systems that might have moved unexpectedly out of what you expect them to be. And finally, you can write custom threat hunting modules to search your entire Linux fleet within seconds.
Nice. Thank you for that context. So your background personally, were you a Linux admin? How do you kind of get into this infrastructure space?
So my background, I started work initially with Chief Naval Operations, U.S. Pentagon, where I maintained classified networks. I then moved to join a small startup in San Antonio, Texas called Wheel Group, which was started by the founding members of the Air Force Information Warfare Squadron. I wrote network attack tools for their vulnerability scanner. We also produced a network-based intrusion detection system called NetRanger. We ended up getting bought by Cisco Systems, where I stayed for a couple of years. And then I left to found a new company that did automated response for network intrusion detection events. Basically, we would automatically investigate intrusion detection system events, alerts as they came in, and tell you whether or not they were real or false alarms. That got rid of about 95 to 99% of all false alarms. So we got bought by Cisco, got moved back into Cisco. And I was also early stage consultant with a company called Tipping Point Technology that did multi-gigabit line speed intrusion prevention systems. I helped them with early product design and hiring some key personnel. And then finally did some work for anti-fraud detection. And now I'm back doing my own company again, just because I like the space this much.
Are you going to go back into Cisco in 2 years' time? Is that there's a track record here, Craig?
I still have the drawer over here. I still have my old employee badge. I need to update the photo, but they let me use it. I think
that's got.
Yeah, they gave me my old employee number when I came back the second time, so I bet I could still get the employee number back.
Yeah, you're still in the database, don't worry. So yeah. You spoke just on pinpoint one thing there. So being agentless, particularly Linux and monitoring the infrastructure amongst the other things that you can do, is that a unique kind of selling point for the business? Because that's not common, right? Some people say they can do it, and I've seen buzzwords on SEO searches of Google, and then you go into it and they're like, what is agentless? Not that they can do it, but they do like an article on it just to kind of build the buzzwords up.
Yeah, a lot of times agentless is not really what they say, or they're just looking at log files. We don't. We actually are designed from the ground up to work on Linux systems up to over a decade old, up to modern cloud. We can even work on embedded devices. So we're going to work on Intel, AMD, ARM, MIPS, and IBM Power CPUs. So we can work not just on server deployments, we can work on-prem, we can even work in embedded systems like Synology, Ubiquity routers, IP cameras. Customers have us being used in all these devices. So the goal of Sandfly is we want total visibility on Linux. We want to leave no Linux system should ever be unmonitored with Sandfly. So we do it in a very fast way, very compatible way, and a very safe way. We're known as a company that just does not tip over Linux boxes. We have a very good reputation in that regard. So you could deploy us very rapidly without needing to touch every endpoint, put an agent on it, and you can do it with very, very low risk to that infrastructure, which typically, again, critical infrastructure, you don't want to take a risk of having it taken down, and Sandfly can do that because we're not deploying agents that are hooking into the kernel or doing other crazy stuff.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, awesome. Okay, cool. And then for you guys, what's the future look like? Hopefully taking over the endpoint space, all things Linux, but what's the plan?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, I've always wanted to move the company away from pure, a lot of companies focus on just pure EDR of looking for an attack, but we're really a hybrid. We do that. We look for attacks, but also we want to help really prevent a lot of issues too, kind of being a guardian angel, right? So we're not only looking for systems, hey, these are compromised, but also if you do these things, you're going to get compromised. And we're not a vulnerability scanner, but more just like, again, tracking SSH key usage, tracking what users are logging into, what they're doing, tracking systems that are unexpectedly changed, so that as well. But really our focus is really to just cover everything Linux. So the future with Sandfly is, again, we're just maintaining our Linux focus. we want to be the absolute best in this industry for protecting Linux. And I feel that we are that way. And that's why we've been able to get some pretty significant customers to date based on our performance, our compatibility, and our safety for protecting their critical infrastructure that runs Linux.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. So with the future and protecting not just the endpoint and doing the preventative measures, does that mean that you're going to have to go more towards the professional services kind of service route versus a platform, or can a platform still cover a lot of that preventative measures?
We're trying to work more with partners, you know, that already have incident response teams and these frameworks already in place, because a lot of times these companies do not have the personnel really to do Linux security. They can't scale them. You have a very small number of people. So the worst I heard about was at one place they had, I think, 3 people who had to watch around 100,000 Linux endpoints. So is it just completely grossly out of whack? So what Sandfly could do is we could come in and help these security teams amplify their Linux security presence. We can do the investigation for them. We can get them that forensic information, and we can help them identify systems that need to have incident response done. So that way these teams basically are more efficient and more effective at their job. And that's really where we kind of see our role going. We get the industry focuses a lot on Windows. Yeah. For some reason, I don't know why, but you know, Windows is not running most organizations. That's not my experience. So the Linux guys really get shrift in terms of how much resources they get. They're typically woefully understaffed. And as Sandfly, our goal is to kind of come in and help them out. And basically, I always tell people, our job is to make you look like a genius, right? If Sandfly is making you look like a genius doing your job, you're happy, I'm happy, you're more secure. It's a great outcome for everyone.
Okay, cool. Yeah, love that. So we are 2 weeks out from Black Hat. You and the team are going to be there. If I'm a buyer, firstly, who are you looking to speak to there? And also, therefore, how do they get in touch with you guys?
Yeah, great. Yeah, so we'll be at Black Hat. We're not running a booth this year. It'll just be myself, another team member. We will be meeting with customers directly. If you want to meet with us, you can go to our website on our Contact Us form. Just say, hey, want to meet you at Black Hat or DEF CON, and we can set up a time to meet. We talk to anyone, really. You know, we at this point, obviously, CISOs that want to find out more about protecting Linux infrastructure that maybe is not being watched today, but also security teams that a lot of these security teams are aware of the shortcomings in their Linux monitoring. Maybe management's reluctant to really look into it, or maybe they don't know to look into it. We are happy to talk to the security teams, give them a presentation of our product, how we can, again, make them more effective. So, you know, we really don't, you know, care who it is. I like talking about Linux security just in general. I'm pretty energetic about it. So if you see me at the conference, come up and talk to me, or again, schedule a meeting. Happy to do one-on-one, get a coffee with you, get lunch, whatever it is, and we can talk about the product.
Brilliant. The countdown is on. Craig, thanks for joining us. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Great. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.